Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man. This video is a little bit different because this is a DVD review. And I don't do DVD reviews, but because somebody commented and asked, do you have Finding Nemo on DVD? Yes, I do. And here it is. Now, I bought this when it was first came out. When this movie first came out on DVD, I bought it. This is the first release of this film. So this is not the second release or the third release. This is not a Blu-ray. This is a DVD, and this is the first release. Now, I paid about $25 for this disc when it first came out, or maybe it was $30. It was either $25 or $30 when I bought this, and I think I might have bought it at Best Buy, if I remember right. It was probably Best Buy that I bought it at, and of course we're gonna show. This has got the slip cover, which most people that have this movie, they have either the third or the fourth release, and they don't have the one with the slip cover. So we'll take a look here. So let's we'll take the slip cover off. Now, I also have The Lion King on DVD as well, and so here we go. So I should have known that this was not going to stay up by itself. But there is the cover. It looks exactly the same as the slip cover. So we'll take a look at the this has only been watched once or twice. Maybe only a handful of times, maybe a few times. And there we go. As you can see that we have this is the insert here. And it's got a lot of different things on it. So we'll take a look at the booklet here, and we'll take a look at the discs. So this one is I think this was, had both the widescreen and the full screen, which is the pan and scan version. So disc 1, it has the widescreen, feature film, and let's see if this is the full screen. Yep, it is. Because when DVD first came out, people wanted to have the full screen, because when I was growing up as a kid, movies were widescreen. They were shot in widescreen. However, because we had tube TVs, which were 4:3 aspect ratio, they were tube TVs, like that one you see up there on the shelf. So that's the kind of TV that we had when I was a kid growing up. And so people didn't want black screen they didn't want black bars on the top and the bottom of the screen, you know. So they were willing to sacrifice some of the picture if it meant that we didn't have to look at black bars. So that's why they came out with the full screen discs later on. This one just happens to have both. But that's why they had both out on the first. This is the first release, and so this is a very rare DVD as far as that goes. And of course, the DVDs are just so much better quality, you know, as far as, but DVDs can only go 480 lines. That's it. That's all they can do for you. This one's got a little bit of scratches, So this one's been kind of rough. This one, I've loaned this out to my sisters, and apparently they've scratched the hell out of it. It's not bad enough to where it'll still play just fine, though. It still plays just fine, but it does have some scratches, and apparently my sisters have decided to scratch the hell out of it, because over the years I've loaned this thing out to not only my sisters, but my friends, but I personally have only watched it a handful of times, like maybe 3-4 times. So personally, I have not watched this one that many times, but other people have. So we'll just clarify that, because I should have clarified that in the beginning of the shooting this film. And of course the full frame, which is the full screen, which is 4x3, and this one's got about it's about the same. This got scratches on it, but it's okay because you know what, it still plays, and it is the first time that it was released onto DVD. So the Betamax Kitty has decided to join us today, or tonight anyway. And anyway, so yeah, we were gonna take a look at the booklet here. We'll just take a look here and show you the booklet. We'll kind of show you what that looks like. And what I'll do is maybe I'll do my other Disney DVDs that I got. I have 101 Dalmatians. The cartoon version, and I have 102 Dalmatians, which was the second film. But the second 101 Dalmatian animated movie was like 40-50 years apart. So, but we'll show those later in another video. So. We'll do those in another time, but we'll just show you some stuff. See, they used to give you these booklets, and you know, there would be artwork and stuff inside of them, and you know, of course, Disney always used to have really good artwork, you know, and we'll show you the and this one actually opens up like that. Disc 1 and then Disc 2. And this was a good movie, but I mean, I don't watch it. I just have it basically because to add to my collection of you know, physical media. DVDs was something that we all thought was fascinating. We all thought that, you know, back then we thought DVDs were great because they were the best picture quality that you can get. But some of the early DVDs were not that great picture quality. In fact, Laserdisc surpassed DVD and picture quality for the first DVDs that came out, because they did a lot of digital compression with DVDs. The video file had to be compressed. And sometimes you would see, like, what I call checkered flag type detail. You know, you'd see like a checkered flag kind of thing. You know, because they did compress the files. And it just, the first generation DVDs, the quality just was lacking basically because of the digital compression. And so Laserdisc was something that, in my opinion, had a better picture quality. But not anymore, because DVDs really kind of evolved and advanced, and so now DVDs are better than Laserdiscs. But being the fact that I'm a Laserdisc fan, I would prefer to watch things on Laserdisc over DVD any day. So with that said, we're going to end the video, and what we'll do is we will do a video of the other Disney movies that I have. Now, some of my DVDs I got rid of, and some of them I still have, but I'm not that into DVDs. But when they first came out, I was really into them, you know, because of the quality of the picture over video cassette. And of course, this movie, I believe, came out in 2002. So in 2002, we had either VHS or DVD. And I'll tell you a story. Our first DVD player was, I think, around $400. My brother and my father actually split the money, so they went half. My dad had half the money, and my brother had the other half. So they both had, I think it was like $200 a piece or something. And they went together and we bought a DVD player. And our first DVD player that we ever had was a Ampex DVD player. That was the brand name, was Ampex. Ampex, or however you say it. And they're the same company that made a lot of videotape. They made a lot of videotapes for like studios and stuff, like 1-inch tape, 1-inch, 2-inch master tapes. Ampex made tapes as well, but they made DVD players, or the players were made by somebody else, but they just put their name on it. But anyway, so the person wanted to know if I had it on DVD, and I said yes. So now I thought, well, we'll make a video on it, and we'll do a demo of it, and we'll take a look at it. So let's go ahead now and take a look at some of my other Disney DVDs, which I have The Lion King and 101 Dalmatians. I used to have more than that, but I got rid of a lot of my DVDs, and same way with all my VHS tapes that I made back in the 90s. I wish that I still had those VHS tapes, but I remember back in 2005, I actually purchased my very first DVD recorder that hooked up to the television set. Let me get this in here. And anyway, it was a Magnavox, and I still have that player somewhere, or recorder. It's a player slash, it's a recorder and player, of course. But and that was 2005, and I paid around $200 for it. And when they first came out, they were $500 or $600, and then later on lowered the price. I think DVD came out in around 1996. was when I remember it being the mid-90s, because I remember my Uncle Mike, Uncle Mike, he was wanting to buy a DVD player, and I think he didn't end up getting a DVD player until like the early 2000s, because he I think he did. I think he did get a DVD player when it first came out, or a year after, or something like that. But I know that at one time, my uncle was looking at purchasing a super VHS machine, and he was looking at the DVDs as well. And he said that he went and bought a DVD player instead of buying a Super VHS deck. But I think, he would have made a better choice by buying the Super VHS, because he could have recorded instead of just playing back, But originally, DVD was only a playback media. DVD recorders didn't come out until much later, and so there's my interesting story about DVD. I don't know if any of you find this story interesting, but maybe some of you out there do. So we'll see you in the next video, and we'll do a video review on the other Disney discs that I have. Hi guys, this is Betamax Man. So I thought we would take a look at the other Disney DVDs that I have, and like I said, I gotten rid of a lot of my DVDs. I basically went either for my 1990s movies that I love, that I grew up with, I went strictly Laserdisc. Because Laserdisc was way better format than DVD. Okay, yeah, so DVD had a little better picture quality, but hey, we all know that Laserdisc was truly the king disc format, okay? Yes, that is correct. So let's take a look. Laserdisc is better than DVD, and we all know that. But let's take a look at the DVDs anyway, shall we? So, whoops, there goes that one. We'll get that one here in a second. Let's get that one. Let's take a look at some of the ones that I purchased back in the day. This would have been purchased in the early 2000s. This was the Lion King 2-disc special edition set. This is a platinum edition. Now they also had the platinum edition on VHS as well, because at that time VHS was still being used. VHS became a cheaper alternative to DVD, so people started buying VHS tapes because they went from originally being anywhere from $80 to $60 down to as much as $10. This one's got the Velcro on it. This one's got a Velcro sleeve here. So there's what the sleeve looks like, and then we can take it out of the shell here, the cover here. Let me get this out. Alright, so we've got it looks exactly the same as the slip cover, and of course we have the artwork here, which is kind of like the Finding Nemo. There was a bunch of artwork in the booklet here. That's pretty much what you were getting. That's all you got, really. And this one has the movie, and then the special features disc. So this one has the disc 1 is obviously the movie, and I believe disc 2 was the special features disc that was available. Yeah, this had the special features. So this one is just a widescreen release. This is not a full screen, but it does have the THX. So this, I have it available on Laserdisc as well. I have Lion King on Laserdiscs, and I like the DVD release because it had really neat artwork, and they changed the artwork. This was not the first time you could buy it on DVD, but it was one of the Platinum Edition releases, so that one was so let me get that one put back in. Now we have the original 101 Dalmatians, and then we have the 101 Dalmatians number 2. Now number 2 was not as good as number 1. Also, number 2 was made like 40 or 50 years after the original, and so the original actors are not even the original actors that played the voices are not even in this one. And in my opinion, this was a cheesy movie. The graphics on this movie really cheesy. You could tell that the artwork was fake, that it was computer generated, and I really thought this was a terrible movie. It was just terrible. So to have the original one, this was the best, you know. And this was the Platinum Edition as well. Now we'll take a look at this one. And of course, here it is. Now, the mastering process that was done for these DVDs were crappy. This particular cover has the latch on the top and bottom here. And they did, I don't like these particular DVD cases, but and then DisneyMovieRewards.com, magic code to earn 100 points and for a chance to win. So this was some kind of promotion going on here. And of course, this has got a booklet of different things. It's got all kinds of different artwork, booklets, and all kinds of stuff. So I kept everything the way I bought it. The way I bought the DVD back in the early 2000s is the way that I left it. I don't believe in throwing away any kind of paperwork that comes with the discs. So, and then there's the disc 1 and disc 2, which has the special features. So there's that. And we'll put this back together, and then we'll take a look at this one as well. We'll just take this one out while we're at it. Dalmatians 2. Patch's London Adventure. And you all know my opinion on the number 2. It sucked, but it is one that I'll probably watch one of these days. I bought it strictly because it was part of the series, and so I bought it. But it does have a really cool disc artwork. And Disney always had a way of making their labels so that they cannot be counterfeited. Because back in the early 2000s, when the computer DVD drives and stuff came out, people were buying these paper labels and scanners, and they would try to make counterfeit copies of films. And so yeah, that was the way of Disney protecting their products and making sure that nobody could counterfeit them. So they did these like see-through type things. So there is the paperwork for this, and this one was new enough to where it was talking about Blu-ray. So this was probably bought back in 2007, maybe 2006. I know 2006, either 2005 or 2006 is when Toshiba HD DVD had their format war with Sony with their Blu-ray. And so this would have been bought in 06, I would imagine, when this would have been purchased. Of course, back then there were no digital copies. It was you either had a physical copy on either VHS or DVD, but by the time this would have been purchased, VHS was dead. So the only way to buy this film would have been either DVD or Blu-ray. So at that time they had no streaming services. So there's that, and that's about what that looks like. And then we have the final 2 DVDs that I have that I can find. This one I actually purchased at my local Bi-Mart because it had number 1 and number 2. And I believe George of the Jungle was 1998 release. And George of the Jungle 2, they changed the actor. And I did not like the fact that they changed the actor. And so number 2 in my book was terrible because they changed the actor. Now this one, Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection, which was the Fox and the Hound, which was a really a great movie. I love this film. I also, of course, you guys already know that I have this on Betamax as well. And I think I will purchase it on Laserdisc as well. And I'd like to get it on Laserdisc because it's just a great movie. So let's take a look at the 2-disc feature set. I would like to buy George of the Jungle on Laserdisc. So if anybody has a copy, probably not though. There we go. Here's the George of the Jungle DVD. And of course it's got the NTSC logo because this is the United States. Disney Movie Rewards. Okay, so this would have been digital. This is definitely, because this was bought like last year, so this obviously has a code for going online and watching it. And yeah, please don't use this code, okay? And then we have George of the Jungle 2. Now, they've got him made up to look like the original actor, but it's obviously not the original actor. And these discs were mastered off of videotape. They were mastered off of an analog source. And they didn't even use a time-based corrector to correct the color bleeding that happens with some of the analog videotape recordings. So they didn't even use a time-based corrector to even correct it, because you could see the color bleeding in the show when you're watching it, and you can tell that this was mastered from a analog videotape, either a 1-inch master or a 2-inch. For all we know, it could have been mastered off of a U-matic cassette, because I mean the quality was good, but you could see the color bleeding, which means that they mastered it from a analog tape based source. So anyway, there are my discs, guys. So these are all my Disney DVDs that I have. I do have a few Disney films on Blu-ray as well. So Disney was one of Sony's supporters, and so Disney would have been on Blu-ray back in '06. And if I wish that HD DVD would have kind of won, because I kind of think HD DVD was a little bit better, but the sound quality was definitely better with Blu-ray than it was HD DVD. So anyway, but that is the films. These are the ones that I wanted to show, and this one, the Lion King Platinum Edition, this was also mastered from a analog videotape source, because you can see the discoloration in the you can see these little colored stripes, and you get those from an analog source. So they definitely didn't master this very well. If you want to get this movie on a recent format, you'd want to get it on Blu-ray, because the reason why you'd want to get it on Blu-ray, because 1, it's in high def, and 2, it's mastered from the original film print. So having something mastered from the film instead of being mastered from a videotape analog source is, of course, much better. So now both of these are letterboxed editions. I think these two are actually pan and scan versions, but all the other 3 here, the Lion King is widescreen, 101 Dalmatians, 101 Dalmatians 2, those are in widescreen as well. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoyed looking at this, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.